Hello, everyone. Today I thought that we would tie an even smaller one than this one. And we're not going to tie it on the TTT, we're just going to tie it on the extra small black tubing. So it's going to be a little smaller and a little lighter. First I burn a little color. And I'll try to get them pretty even. Then we have to wait a few seconds for it to dry. Then I'll just put this on needle and some black 12-0 SSS tying thread and just put it on where I burnt a little color. And this is going to be a mini, almost like the TTT Samurai, as I call them, but without the TTT. So it's going to be even smaller. And there, the green. First we take a small bunch of green and take away all the stiff strands. Like so. And then we taper this a little bit, take away and just pull in the middle. And this will be very, very small and very few strands. And then a loose turn over down to the edge. Like this. As you can see, there's very few strands there. And we cut that off. And then we want a few strands of black. And I'll take a bunch like this, away with the stiffer strands, like so, and away with the fluff, and then we just pull a little bit in the middle here also. Like this, and this should just be a tiny bit longer than the first wing. And loose turn, pull this down too. Now don't have to make so many turns. And then check so your spread is pretty good. Like this. This is very few strands. And then we cut off this one. And then two small jungle cocks. See if I can get them out without breaking them. I broke one, as always, and I peel them down to the white. Oh, I broke that one too, but it doesn't matter. I can tie them in anyways. And now we'll use the hard white part on these jungle cock as well. So I pull away the strands so the white part is clean, if you can see it. And then I start with the one I broke, because it's easier to tie that one in on my side, and the one with a tiny stem left, easier to tie in on the other side. So here I use the hard white part when I tie it on. 3 loose turns. So we can adjust it a little bit if we want to afterwards. And now we put on the one on the opposite side. Check the length. There. And then we try to tie this in the same spot. Use a little bit of the white there. And then a little bit down. That's good. And away with a little stem here. Come on. There we go. And then a little glue. This strand I did not like. And we put a little glue on to secure the jungle cock and the tiny wings we tied in. That's a lot of glue, but I will take away some. Do it with my fingers. And now we take some of the gaudy green regular dubbing again. Just fill up this little part of thread. And make the first turns close to the wings and close to the jungle cock. As close as you can without bending this down, because we want the wing to be free to swim the way it wants. And now we make a little samurai-ish dubbing here. A few turns in front, and then like that. Now we're just gonna try to find a really small black soft hackle feather. This neck is that's pretty picked out. I have a few more necks, but this is the one with the smallest feathers. I don't want it to be too sticky. Here we have a really small one, which I think will work if I don't break it, because the stems on soft hackles in this size is very fragile. But before I tie my 2 small turns, it broke directly. Whatever. I will brush out a little bit of these strands, and as usual I use my Fitz tying tool, the dubbing brush with that I can use the tip of, which I told you before. I really like that I can do this like this. And here I don't pull out as many strands as I usually do, just a few ones evenly around the fly. And then I pull it back, look, this, a few more on my side, like this, and we cut off the ones that wasn't so many. So there we are. Now we're going to try with a hackle again and find a small one that the strands are not so long. Let's try again, and try to be a little more careful this time. This will be good. Don't break. Good. And we tie this little one in by the tip. Oh. Just wanted to take away the strands backwards and they were taken away from the stem. So this little tiny triangle I will tie in 2, 3 turns. Now I have to be very careful because the stem, as I said, is not so durable on these small ones. But afterwards I will put on the glue and push on a small micro cone head, turbo cone head. It will help to protect the little... Oh, it's not going well, it's too small. I have too fat fingers. Come on, please. Stay there. This is hard. It came loose again, but I think that I have locked it in. Let's see how this looks and where the stem went. It's gone. It's so small I can't see it. There it is. And we cut that off. This is very few strands with the hackle. As you can see here, there are no strands of hackle at all. And then I will do a little fake hackling on that spot because this is so small that I don't want to try again to just take a few strands from this one, which I hold in my fingers here, and then I put it on top where there weren't any strands, and like this I lock it in. And then I spread them a bit before I tighten it. Like this. Now we have a few strands around this fly, so that will be enough, and I will need a small micro cone head in tungsten. I didn't cut an angle in the front, so let's see if we can get this little... Yeah, it worked. That's why you cut the little angle in the front here, because it's easier to put on the cone heads afterwards. And now I just put a drip of glue here. And then I push in the cone with a Niklas Bauer's pike tube and grab a hold in the back and push that in. And again I made the turns with a glued thread, very loose, so when I push in the cone head, I take the soft glued turns with me. If they get too far out, when I push this in, they slide along with it and makes the turbo cone head sit really well in the fly. So here it is. This is a really small one. And I will tie a few more of these, of course. And then we cut it off, and 1.5 to 2 millimeters on these small ones. With a small micro tungsten turbo tube, because we don't want the plastic to hide all of the turbo cone head. We want it to be seen. So there it is, a really tiny version. This is the smallest on the TTT that I've tied so far, and this is not as fat and a lot smaller. Let's see how long. 2.5 centimeters approximately. So more small ones. Thank you for watching. And this is how I tie the smallest flies, and sometimes I tie, when I want them even smaller, I don't tie them the samurai way, with the dubbing before the hackle. I just put on 2 small wings, 1 strand of angel hair, the thinnest SSS angel hair, and then I tie on the small black hackle and the jungle cosp, small ones. So it gets even smaller than this one, and I will tie a few of those too. But here's one of the smallest tube flies I tie. So thank you for watching, and if you want to follow my YouTube channel, just click this picture here of me. Or if you want to see another film, just click here. And I will see you soon again, but I'm off for Norway now, so I won't be home for a couple of weeks. Bye bye!